Over the past few years, the European Commission has been shaping a comprehensive policy agenda on sustainable finance. That's why Arendt's ESG team has developed a series of videos to raise awareness and build knowledge.
Stakeholder interest in ESG risk is rising, and so is demand for transparency in corporate practices and performance, especially in the financial sector. The banking industry is under intense pressure to put ESG into practice by meeting objectives and doing proper reporting. Regulatory scrutiny is tightening, and unlike for financial performance, ESG performance regulation remains a daunting patchwork. So far, the European Union has responded to the push for better transparency and greenwashing prevention with a range of measures like the SFDR, the new taxonomy, and the CSRD. ESG is clearly here to stay and even becoming a competitive advantage. But what due diligence must be done before an investment or a transaction can be labeled sustainable and ESG compliant, and what is the cost of inaction? When it comes to due diligence, self-declaration questionnaires and high-level screening are key first steps, but they are not enough. Geographic, sectoral, thematic screening aligned with your ESG policies and goals are a must for getting an inherent risk rating for each investment or client. Simple risk categories of low, medium, or high risk are often used with descriptions of the top ESG risk area. But a risk rating is not the destination. It is a signpost showing how far and how deep to go in your due diligence. You can start by reviewing what you already know from other due diligence streams such as anti-money laundering (KYC). Recent AML scandals have shown that new clients come with risk, not just of money laundering, but of crimes that hurt other ESG areas, like human trafficking, drug dealings, illegal mining, and so forth. Deeper screening can of course be done with in-house ESG resources or third-party online tools to identify activities that would impact the inherent ESG risk. 1. Do not neglect external due diligence based on the ESG risk rating, the financial materiality and potential reputational damage. Financial institutions often forget that ESG violations usually link to broader criminal activities, including money laundering and corruption. This will get better, as in March 2021, the European Parliament issued a draft directive on mandatory corporate due diligence and accountability. 2. Do not neglect neither the reputational damage caused by perceived or alleged negligence, as it can be just as crippling as legal penalties. NGOs know this better than anyone. Today, most litigation is driven by NGOs seeking not to win in court, but to damage the company's reputation. So what are our recommendations? 1. ESG is a vast umbrella with diverse risk factors such as corruption, modern slavery, human rights abuse, pollution. So access to expert knowledge in different fields is necessary. 2. Risk assessment is the foundation for effective mitigation, but when it comes to ESG due diligence and monitoring, the risk-based approach must be properly calibrated. A high-risk sector for money laundering might not be high risk on pollution. And above all, remember that risk assessment is not the end, but only the start of a thorough process. 3. Finally, KYC and basic due diligence are limited to a target or a client, while ESG issues may extend, and often do, to third parties. For example, a company's supply chain or an individual's personal circles. Even if you can't always research them all, your risk mapping must be detailed enough to identify these red flags.